My name is Michael, and this story still keeps me up at night. It happened last October, on a cold and stormy Friday night. I was doing the night shift for a local pizza joint, Jimmy's Crust Cheese, just outside the city. Normally, it's a boring job. Pick up the pizza, drop it off, maybe get a decent tip if they're nice. But that night was different. It was past 11:45 p.m. when the last delivery popped up on the screen. A single large pizza, extra cheese, no toppings. The address? 44 Elmswood Drive, right at the edge of town where streetlights turn into tall trees and houses are miles apart. I drove through sheets of rain, wipers struggling, headlights flickering through the mist. My jacket clung to me, the cold creeping into my bones. The GPS lost signal halfway, so I had to trust my eyes. Eventually I saw it, a large wooden house nearly hidden behind tall, damp trees. The porch light glowed weakly through the rain. I got out, ran up the slippery steps, and knocked. She opened the door almost instantly. A girl, early 20s, long dark hair falling over a cream sweater, eyes like melted glass. Sad, distant, soft. She was beautiful in the way a memory is, warm, fragile, aching. "You're soaked," she said gently. "Come inside. It's storming hard, just for a few minutes." I hesitated. Company rules were strict, no stepping inside. But something about her, maybe the way she stood alone in that big silent house, pulled me in. "Just until the rain eases," I mumbled, stepping inside. The house was quiet. No music, no TV, just the sound of rain hitting the windows and the faint smell of wet wood and roses. She took the pizza but didn't open it. "Would you like coffee?" she asked softly. I nodded. She moved quietly like someone who'd lived alone for too long. When she returned, she handed me a hot cup and sat across from me. The fire in the corner flickered softly, throwing shadows on her face. I watched her, sipping slowly. The coffee warmed my hands, but something else had settled in my chest. A strange tension, the kind that hums under your skin. She hadn't touched the pizza. She wasn't saying anything. And then she started crying. Silently, just tears sliding down her cheeks as she stared at the fire. "Are you okay?" I asked, gently leaning forward. She looked at me finally, her voice barely above a whisper. "I need to tell someone." "Tell me what?" She took a shaky breath. "My name is Alina. I lived in this house, but I don't live anymore." The room went still. My mother used to work night shifts at the hospital. My stepfather stayed home with me. He hated me. Said I reminded him of someone he wanted to forget. One night, when I was 18, he told me to help him in the backyard. Said the garden needed work. He hit me with a shovel. I remember the sound. Not the pain. Just the sound. I froze. My mouth dried. He buried me. Right there. Under the lawn. When Mom came back, he said I ran away. She believed him. Cried for weeks. Police looked, then stopped. Said I was a runaway. My hand trembled. "Wait, what?" She looked at me, eyes heavy with something ancient. "You work for Joe's Pizza Palace, right?" I nodded slowly. Her lips trembled. "He owns that company. Joe is my stepfather." I couldn't breathe. I sat back, the room spinning slightly. "No, that can't be." "He moved on," she whispered. "Got married again. Opened the pizza place. People like him always move on." I stood up, suddenly feeling sick. "This is a prank, right? Some kind of messed up joke?" Alina stood too. "You felt it the moment you stepped in. The quiet, the sadness. That's not a prank." I couldn't answer. I rushed to the door, heart pounding, coffee cup falling from my hands. "Michael," she called from behind. I turned. She was still, tears in her eyes. "Tell someone. Please. My body. It's still here. She never found me." The wind howled outside. The rain had turned to needles against the glass. I didn't reply. I couldn't. I ran to my car, engine barely starting, tires skidding in the mud. I didn't stop until I got home. But I didn't sleep. The next morning, I searched the address. 44 Elmswood Drive. The house had been abandoned for years, foreclosed. No recent sales. No one was supposed to be there. I confronted my manager, Joe, the owner. He laughed it off. "You been drinking during deliveries?" But when I looked into his eyes, something flickered. A twitch. A brief crack in the mask. I left the job that day, but I still see her sometimes. Alina, when it rains, when the sky turns gray, when thunder rolls. Her sad eyes staring from behind glass. I wonder, if I don't tell the police, if I don't dig up that lawn, does that make me part of it? Does that make me like him? And if I go back to that house, will she still be there? Waiting? Would you go? It makes me scared and sad every time I think about her. Mr. Joe always seemed humble and kind. But if Alina was telling the truth, then